if we had a better structure, I thought I had some kind of stuff in mind to say geopolitical zones. And we had a plan that every geopolitical zone must have a power station, for example. That means we have a minimum of 6 strong power stations.
Yes. It's very important that we embrace these investors.
I think what they want to do now is to be able to make them understand that, look, going forward, it's no longer going to be business as usual. Whatever that may be happening in the past, we want to now be able to put a system in place that will checkmate, correct the ills of the past, give us a new pedestal from which to stand and operate going forward.
Officially, what we get in the country, 79% is from crude, foreign exchange, 11% is from oil, from gas, natural gas. Between the two,
Hello, it's a pleasure to have you on the program again today. Of course, it is still the economy today on KAFTAN Television. This day, we'll always, as we always do, we want to look at something that will help the economy or anybody around that will watch, especially yourself, dear viewer. Because one of us here, of course, and I have someone that is a specialist in these. What we want to talk about today, and he's here with me. I am talking about Adeolu Adeyemo. He is a moviepreneur, a mediapreneur, and a lot more. A business development consultant, a skills development consultant, and all. So he's here today to be with us on the program. Good to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me. Okay.
Right, sir. The topic for our discussion today is the one that has to do with the same skills and all that. So let's look and see the topic and we'll talk about it. It's skills acquisition and utilization. You know, most of the times we have talked about acquisition and we've not talked about utilization. And so we want to look at both today's skills acquisition and utilization. And we want to also zero in on the fact that it is a solution. It has come as a solution to the problem of the economy in the land. You're welcome again. Please, can we just talk about this, Adeolu? Because looking at the fact that there are so many things we could refer to as problems to young people, everybody in this country today, economic problems. Looking at skills acquisition and utilization, do you agree that it could be the solution to economic woes?
Yeah. When we talk about skill, we talk about practical utilization of either your hand, your brain, you get what I'm saying now, in rendering services. Skill acquisition at this time in Nigeria, I said it last year, that is a welcome idea because we all know now that most people, most of the graduates that we have now, they have no skills. Yes. They were only told what theory of the courses they went for, but they do not have practical knowledge of that thing that they studied. So, we saw that the skilled person is, in the Nigeria of today, is doing better than people that went to school. If you want to talk about billionaires in Nigeria, you will foresee thousands of skilled persons before you will see an academia that that knows the theory and is a teacher and is a lecturer. You don't see any one of them in the forefront of economic development of a nation. So when we say skill, we talk about people that are making the nation economy to thrive. If I don't know of anyone, at least I know of in the southeast is skill. Southwest is skill. In the north is also skill because the farmers are skillful. You get what I'm saying now? Everything that we are all using today, look at this table. A person that went to school to study whatever cannot create this table. You understand? The apparatus you are using, the phone in your hand, the eyeglasses, even to your jacket, everything is by a skilled person. And I thank God that we have come to realize that any economy of a nation that will thrive must thrive on skilled labor. It's why I gave it to Alausa, the Minister for Education, that is now fronting skill. You understand? Arts, very important in all our polytechnic and monotechnic and university, and even now, all the skill acquisition, all the training center must register under the TVET to acquire skilled certification. You get what I'm saying now? Yes. So it's a very important aspect of anybody, any economy in any nation. Go to China. Everything that you see in China that is making China great today, it is through the skilled person. The phone, from the phone to appliances, from appliance to everything you see. So, and
even the manufacturer, because there in
everything
China,
called manufacturing is a skilled labor.
Yes,
they are all skilled labor. You cannot say you are making Ankara, you are a skilled person. It's only that you skilled it and that you apply technology to advance it. You get what I'm saying now? Even person that is writing is a skilled person. You get what I'm saying? Because we have people that are good in writing as a skilled person. We have professionals that are good in talking. They are skilled to talk. You get what I'm saying now? So skill is a very critical tool that every nation needs to thrive. And that's where we are in Nigeria now.
And so looking at what you've just explained, you've just talked about skill acquisition as what almost everybody should have. But then the utilization is the sector, the section that is difficult for many of us. Yeah, because I remember, this is so funny really, talking about someone who happens to be a mechanical engineer. And then he has a problem in his vehicle. And he calls the roadside mechanic to come and work on his vehicle. And he says, I don't know what is happening to this vehicle. I just stopped and I was looking at a mechanical engineer, asking the mechanic, roadside mechanic, to help put his vehicle in order. And I said, you are the one that is supposed to be teaching this young man on exactly what to do, maybe because you're wearing something like this and you don't want to dirty your hands or whatever. But know that you don't know what's happening to your vehicle. He said, leave this thing. We just read. But the fact is that these are the people who are actually practicing. I see, I give it to the civil engineers, and many of them are the ones
because
that are
it's practical.
Yes.
You have to be on the field to do it.
Yes.
So like you said, utilization is important. You have said it right. That example is a very critical example that it's not everybody that went to school have skill and can even utilize their skill. You get that? But I tell you straight, anybody that has gone as an apprentice to study or to learn a skill, they are not told theory. They start learning it from day one.
Very first day they start.
Day one, as they resume their apprenticeship, they start learning. So it is very important that as a skilled person, when you are utilizing it because if you don't utilize it, you will not make money.
Yeah, exactly.
You will not make money. I have a guy, he didn't even go to school to study any telecommunication. But what that guy is running in Onitsha now as a telco engineer that just went to one place to learn phone repair, computer repair. Do you know that apart from repairing computer, repairing phone, and sorting all these techie gadgets, the guy now have beside it a store where he's selling all these gadgets, selling phones, selling electronics, selling. Someone that has never gone to school is now he employed
many people to work for him.
All the graduates are in his shop.
And he is the one supervising
and he's
because
the one
he has the idea.
in his inner office counting money every day. You know the child. I said, Josiah, Daddy, I said, I'm so happy for you. He said, sir, thank you for telling me to go and learn it. Because he was just wandering around that time. I said, go, what can you see? I said, coming to be asking for money every day is not the best thing for you.
It's not.
Go and learn a skill. And he listened to me to learn that job, and now he is happy, and he's even an employer of labor.
Yes, of course, he is.
Now, in his shop, he puts aside, he departmentalized his shop. I told him, I said, see, don't stop, do not remove that technical skill from your office. Let it be a department. Let's repair the department. Let's buy and sell the department.
Yes, sales, another department.
Exactly what he did. Accountants and everybody are working with him now. So what I'm trying to say, utilization is easier when you are an apprentice. Not when you have got, see, okay, of recent, we're in partnership with a university. Then when they came here, we saw that they didn't even know anything. Because they were just told theory. But when they came here, they saw that it is beyond what they were told.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And we saw that utilizing what we were teaching them now became very easy. It wasn't like they were not thinking, you see camera, you see MCR, you see voicing, presenting, yes. This is how to go about it. News, this is how to cast it. So on hands-on knowledge,
yes,
and practicalizing it, that you call utilization,
yes,
they know it right from the beginning. Because somebody has exposed them to how to utilize what the theory told them.
And you know something, just as you mentioned, the fact that there is, like the young man you used as an example, making a whole lot of money. You see, the reason for which it should be that way is that people will be more at home with this one that not only sells these handsets or these electronic gadgets, but he also repairs them.
He repairs.
So they can seek his advice, that more than just saying he wants to go and buy. He
does not have time again. Josiah, if I call him, Daddy, I'll call you back. Daddy, he's very busy because there is somebody with him now. And because he is now also training another set of people
that will continue
that can continue from. You know, so that's why I always say that I celebrate the industry, the skilled labor industry, because without them, I don't even know where we are going to be by now.
It's a good thing that the government of Nigeria is also beginning to look that way, because we saw in the news today that they are opening up certain groups where there will be fund made available for these people, both in the private sector and those under the government. And in fact, it's part of what we have in our news bit today, definitely. We will get to watch it and hear it as it will go on. But you see, it's good that at a time like this, just as you said, a solution to economic meltdown. Let's not just say, there is no work. After all, it's only 70,000 that is the minimum wage. It can go nowhere, so everybody go and sleep and wait for it. No, the solution is in the working. We need to work it out. And so you, dear viewer, if you are by any means one of such people that will need to do something, there is need for you to really go and acquire one skill or the other to help put food on your table.
On your table.
I remember that statement that we got to hear from
head of station
some time ago, yes, talking about the fact that if there is no money in your pocket, ask your hands why. And you upgraded it. Ask your head why. Because it is from your head.
Your hand cannot operate without your head.
Yes, ask your head why too.
So that use your head.
Yes, use your head.
Use your head.
And get something
we have
on your
seen
table,
in Nigeria, in fact, what is sustaining this country now is the skilled labor. Because if you look at employment in Nigeria, there is no even white collar job again. You understand? What is sustaining this Nigeria now is the skilled labor, because everybody had to wake up on time to go and learn skill for their own good. Husbands, wife, everybody is learning skill. Yes. Nobody is depending on their certificate again. Go and get something doing. Yes. Don't sit down aloof, doing nothing. If you say civil servant in Nigeria, what is the population of civil servants in Nigeria? They are less than 1 minute, 1% or 2%. Very minimal. Very minimal. You understand? So you cannot imagine if at that level of just 2%, both private and public join together, 4% of the population. We are 230 million Nigerian population. Yes. So if not for the skilled, I don't know where we'll be now by now. But thank God that we realize it on time, and that everybody had to join on time, and everybody have seen. That is why I tell people, I said, if other nations are suffering, Nigeria can never suffer, because everybody is learning one thing or the other. Yes. If not for the farm, that they are sending people out of the farm, we are not supposed to have any food crisis in this country. We are not supposed because to. We have a lot of people in the farm that are making life easy for themselves. Yes.
And I remember, of course, Benue State, that is referred to
the food basket.
As the food basket of the nation, is now the besieged state above all else. So things need to happen. And look at Niger State, where there is a wide expanse of land that can produce. I mean,
many.
And we're having this problem with
them.
So there is need for us to talk about effective implementation of these skills that have been acquired. There is also need for us to have effective security in the land. That's what it just is.
It's critical. It's critical. In fact, anytime I'm thinking about skilled labor and its benefit to nation, I'm like, wow. Apart from job creation, you have innovation, technology development. You understand? Because when somebody is skillful, he's thinking of what to develop. Yeah. We have seen a lot of them coming up with different tech application. You understand? So it's critical. In fact, the livelihood of people is made easier through skills also. You understand? I've looked at it like job creation. Also, it's made possible through skills. You understand? So I just feel like you just said now, instead of you sitting down at home and be thinking of which job you want to get, I'm asking and saying to every youth out there,
advocating
that you should go and get a skill and utilize it on time before the time. Because now you have the strength to do it.
Yes, before you get too old for it.
You get too old and you cannot lift your hand, and it's very important.
Even the Holy Book says that too, that we should do the best we can with while we're young, not when we get old and when we say we do not have interest in this anymore. Well, we still take a lot more. We still go through this a lot more, because this is the topic for the day. But first of all, at a time like this, we will take this break. What do we want to do? From the business news, after which we'll return and continue. We still have our news beat from where we get these things that we're talking to. You'll hear and see some of it too. Stay with us.
Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) Governor Olayemi Cardoso has inaugurated the revamped board of the Agricultural Credit Guarantee Scheme Fund, signaling a new era for agricultural financing in Nigeria. Speaking in Abuja, Cardoso highlighted that less than 5% of banks' lending currently reaches farmers, despite agriculture contributing over 1/5 of GDP and employing nearly 2/3 of the workforce. He described the launch as a defining moment to modernize ACGSF, ensuring it addresses climate risks, fragmented value chains, and rising agri-tech opportunities. The scheme guarantees up to 75% of agricultural loans, the risk-in financing for smallholders. The new board, featuring farmers' representation, will prioritize financial inclusion, particularly for women and youth, while leveraging technology like satellites, imagery, and digital dashboards to track loans and crop performance. Cardoso stressed accountability and transparency, emphasizing that strengthening agricultural financing is key to boosting productivity, rural incomes, and national food security, aligning with government's renewed hope agenda. The Nigerian federal government has unveiled its most ambitious public finance reform in over a decade, centralizing revenue collection through a unified digital platform. The system integrates the Treasury Single Account, GIFMIS, the Central Bank of Nigeria, NIBSS, and other infrastructure into the revenue optimization platform, providing real-time monitoring of federal receipts. From January 1st, 2026, the new Federal Treasury e-receipt will be the only legally recognized proof of payment, ending cash handling, unauthorized deductions, and duplicate receipts books. MDAS must remit every naira collected to the TSA, while system-based controls will reduce human discretion and curb corruption. Finance Minister Wale Edun said the overall promises transparency, efficiency, and better fiscal forecasting. The reform aimed to stabilize public finances, expand non-oil revenue, and build trust in government transactions, marking a bold step toward a fully digital, accountable, and integrated federal revenue system. Nigerian and now the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, has recovered 32.27 billion naira from employers who failed to remit workers' pension contribution between June 2012 and September 2025, including 15.87 billion naira in unpaid contributions and 16.40 billion naira in penalties in third quarter 2025 alone. PENCOM recovered 2.06 billion naira for 49 defaulting firms. At a Lagos workshop, Director General Omolola Oluwararan, represented by Commissioner Samuel Chigozie Wandu, said the Commission has entered a zero-tolerance era for pension defaults. PENCOM is strengthening collaborations with CAC, FIRS, and ICPC, holding employers and management personally liable, while recovering agents continue auditing and enforcing compliance under the Pension Reform Act. And now the national...
Oh, well, that's it. We've taken that from the business news, and of course some of it is what we're talking about here. And looking at the fact that even one of it that has to do with the funding from the central bank to help businesses and especially farmers to get okay. That reminds me of the fact that that's a beautiful move by the central bank, is it not, sir?
It is very, very.
And then there is also something that it reminded me of, something that has happened in the past in this country. So one other problem we have in our country is that people find it difficult to carry out the assignment they are asked to carry out effectively. They will want to create something else just to make things difficult for others. And the other fellows who are by the side who are looking for avenues through which to defraud people would also latch on that and continue to do what is wrong. Like there was this project that was promoted then, and NICE or something like that.
NICE.
Yes, and many people were trained and they were getting certain things, but later some people continued with the thing when it was even over and done with. They were confused. It's not over. Come and pay money. Let's train you, and afterwards they will say submit your names and all those things. I know you are one of the fellows involved in it. Can we talk a bit about it, because it's part of this skill acquisition, some people say, the one I went for training, they said they would give me money. Did they give me the money? So what are you asking me to go and do again?
Okay, so the issue with this country is this. We're having a lot of lapses with our policy management. When federal government or state government or anybody comes up with a policy to better the life of the people, you see that because they don't do their due diligence and deep research on how to implement that thing, we always have problem. Sustaining it is always a problem. And that is what I have seen about this country, because when Empower came, you understand, Empower was strictly part of the part of the program the government set up for skilled labor. I remember then, some people, even some Empower guys were sent to mechanic workshop, different carpentry places and all those things. But at the end of the day, the Empower is over. Nobody is sustaining it. The new government that came couldn't even continue with it because everything was messed up. There is a lot of corruption in it under Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. So then this issue of, I'm looking at CBN agri reform now. Fantastic idea. Anchor Borough came out that time. I was part of Anchor Borough for Akwa Ibom State, and we saw how it was being. It became a political reform, not agri reform, because the people that deserve or that needed the money to do large-scale farming for this country were not the one assessing it. It was being, they are now passing it across to themselves. You understand? Yeah. You understand? And the people that they gave, they were not even forthcoming, because even I remember one of them then many years ago that had the privilege of collecting like a opinion, couldn't even implement the job. You see? So to say, you know, so it's a very disturbing situation. I hope the new agri reform that's coming out will be done properly, and there is it's not going to be a political point that the federal government want to score, because everything in this country is always a political statement, so political policy. You understand? Let's do things. Let's have a country that will do things well. You understand? So look at the security of the country. It's all political. By the time we start hearing about security of the country, how many people have been arrested? How many people have we seen that have faced our firing squad? You get what I'm saying? No, in this country, we don't do things right. It's a major problem. So if another one, NICA, when NICA came, you train them, you recommend them. When they after training them, the CBN and the people, NICA people that they put together, will now set up a vendor. If somebody requested for 10 million naira as the benchmark for their business, they will give the person 5 million naira.
And not that money was not there.
And the money was there now, because they are reporting it back now, but because some people have to stand in between that money now to collect 5 million to themselves, give the person 5 million naira, and the person at the end of the day will not be able to implement the project.
Because the amount given was even half of the
That is my problem with this country. Nothing is sustained here. Everything, people will just sabotage policies that meant to help the skilled laborers to grow, or entrepreneurs to grow their businesses. You know, sir, if anything that they want to do now, let them carry people with integrity that want the best for this nation to man those things. If not, you will see that other group of people that does not want the best for this country will sabotage it.
To mess it up.
They still want to mess it up. Okay. Meanwhile, major problem we have in this country, we will have been better than this, the way we are now as a nation, because we have a population. Like a friend of mine would say, he said, our God's blessing for this nation is the humanity, the human resource we have. Yes. You understand? If you have human resource, you have good policy, and you have good implementation, you can imagine how the economy will be sustained and grow well. But because we don't have, we have human resource, but they are not well managed. They are badly managed. It is in this country that somebody will say, give a group of people 200 million. What will get to them at the end of the day is 50 million. Because somebody will sit somewhere and say, why will I give this person 200 million?
Yet it will be approved. that person
Yet
that
it will
is
be
doing this
approved.
will
The people
collect
will
the
come and
remaining
sign
one.
for it,
Yes.
but they will share the
They
remaining
will
between
give
themselves.
them
The
peanuts.
corruption is at the
It's,
highest
that's
level
a
in this
shame.
country,
It's quite
and
a
that is
shame
why
something is happening in
our
country
skilled
today.
labor or skill industry is not growing. These people with skills, they need money to grow the businesses.
Yes.
And bank is a no-go area. You can't go to bank to go and say you want to borrow money because you don't know the interest they will give you a loan, and the requirement will kill your business.
That is why I thank God that Cardoso has started something new, you know, that to make sure that it will not become a difficult thing for the people that should earn or get these loans. It will not be a problem for them to
Let them do it well.
we just pray it will be so. Well, we'll still continue, but then we want to look at what we have in a moment, what we refer to as our news beats. Watch, it's still part of what we're talking about today. And then afterwards we'll return, we'll talk about the stock exchange before we conclude our discussion today.
CBN orders Agri Fund Board to widen credit access to farmers. The Central Bank of Nigeria has charged the newly inaugurated board of the Agricultural Credit Guarantee Scheme Fund, ACGSF, to ensure that lack of collateral or remote location no longer prevents Nigerian farmers from accessing credit. The governor of the CBN, Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, gave the charge in Abuja during the inauguration ceremony, describing the scheme as a critical institution that must evolve to meet the financing needs of modern agriculture. The 48-year-old ACGSF is one of Nigeria's foremost and longest-standing development finance programs, with a rich history in our socio-economic journey. It is not the CBN going back to interventions in some sectors, but a continuation of the Apex Bank's statutory mandate, which reorganizes ACGSF. Cardoso said the core objective going forward is to make agricultural credit more accessible and inclusive. According to him, our goal should be that a lack of collateral or remote location is no longer an insurmountable barrier to financing. He described agriculture as central to Nigeria's economic structure, pointing out that despite its contribution to national output and employment, credit to the sector remains very low. FG rolls out 1 million naira startup grants, 500,000 naira support for informal sector. The federal government on Tuesday expanded its youth empowerment drive with the rollout of 1 million naira startup grants for young entrepreneurs and 500,000 naira support packages for beneficiaries in the informal sector under the second edition of the Nigeria Youth Academy NIA Startup Grants. President Bola Tinubu, represented by his Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, unveiled the initiatives at the State House Conference Center, Abuja, reaffirming that youth empowerment remains a central pillar of his renewed hope agenda. He said his administration is implementing a coordinated suite of programs, NIA Academy, NIA Startup, NIA Jobs, and the newly introduced NIA Gigs, to equip young Nigerians with digital skills, enterprise tools, and pathways into the global innovation economy. From the earliest days of this administration, I made a firm decision that Nigeria's youth will not stand on the margins of our national development. This commitment is not political, it is personal, the president stated. Tinubu highlighted reforms aimed at expanding opportunities for youth-led businesses, including easing tax compliance for small enterprises, incentivizing digital and creative economy ventures, and building a pipeline of globally competitive young service providers. He also commended the Ministry of Youth Development for widening NIA's reach following the program's debut edition, which selected beneficiaries from more than 14,000 applicants nationwide. The Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, said the government is building a comprehensive empowerment ecosystem from skills acquisition to enterprise creation and income generation, announcing 1 million naira grants for 200 youth-led startups and 500,000 naira support for 100 beneficiaries in the informal sector. allowing this stressed that the funds are not loans, but fuel for your journey.
Well, we're still here and doing it, and I believe it's working out well with you, even as you're following the way we are going with it this day. Still have my guest, Adeolu Adeyemo, an entrepreneur, moviepreneur, mediapreneur. He is a consultant, a training, skill acquisition consultant. And so he's here and we're talking. In fact, I think we're still going to take this further because one program will not be enough for this. There's another edition of this same skill acquisition that will come up soon. I guess it could be on Friday. So coming up soon, so we'll still do more and talk about this more. But here we have looked at all these and checking the way we have seen things. There are beautiful programs like these ones we have seen now in the newspaper that are coming up. But again, sir, implementation has always been the problem.
Yeah, implementation has been the problem in this country, and also because I remember one of my training then is how to manage the business not to fail. I saw that it's possible to be skillful. You know how to utilize it. The education aspect of it is what we now also help the entrepreneurs to know. Because when you are skillful, you know how to utilize, and you are not a good money manager, that business is likely to fail. And
so what you mean by education now, is it going back to school or what?
It's not going back to school. One of our training then as a consultant to CBN was to educate them on how to manage their resources. You understand? Yeah. And we give them certification. Okay. You understand? Entrepreneurship certification for this skillful person. Oga, this is how to run your business. This is how to keep your accounting. This is how to keep your marketing and sales. This is how to make your report. And this is how to follow up with you. And this is the salary you are entitled to. This is what you are meant to do and not to do. You understand? So we give them that training raw. And we also now play a supervisory role as BSDP. You understand? We are business development consultant to them. You understand? So it's one other area because I see some will succeed, some will mess it up. Because I remember that time we gave money to somebody and what he was aiming to do was to go and buy a car. And we saw him and we quickly, somebody entered us and one of the classmates that was in his batch told me, he said, sir, this person you want to give money to, he's not doing any business. He told us he want to go into poultry and not knowing that he's going to go and buy a car to do poultry business. I said, oh God. So at that level, we did not give him the money. We want to set up the poultry for him, put him on salary, you understand, and supervising the poultry, what he's doing. You understand? So learning that tricks and system now helped him. He said, okay, sir, thank you. He said he want to be taking his egg out. I said, if you want to take egg out, we'll put a budget for utility. For a boss that will come and help you carry. You pay him, you deliver. You don't need to buy any car. You are only going to tie down capital. And today he's doing well. You understand? So is this apart from government issue, even the people too, they have issue. So we as a consultant, what we try to do is to mediate the need and see how both sides can do it well. Government implement it well. You that is the receiver or the recipient of the loan also spend the money and return back and return it well. And that is the only way we can thrive in this country.
Oh well, that is it. We're still here and we still have a whole lot more. Let's take a look at what we have in the stock exchange and we'll still continue. Yeah, from the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the all share index, we have something in the neighborhood of 146.940 for 29. And there is, of course, the red there which shows it's on the negative. And the value traded as yesterday is 30.2 billion in Naira, of course. And the volume was 1.4 or 973 million. While we also look at the market capital in naira, of course, which was 93.6 trillion. Well, that is for that one. We also know that from here that there are some other parts of this same story we have. You may not just see entirely the way it is there. But then we also have the fact that there are orders that also happened at the stock exchange. And so looking at some of them, Fidelity Bank, Fidelity Bank was among the people that were the leading people on the stock exchange. And then we have Japan Limited, Japan Gold Limited, and then we have also the other things that have to follow. And even at that, we have Access Corp. At Fidelity Bank was at 19. Previous closing, and the opening price was also 19 and the high 19, while Japan Gold was 2.3 and 2.3 again, and the high was 2.50. Access Corp came up too as among the top gainers, and Tantalizer, Access Corp at 20.9, that is 20 naira 9 kobo, and that was the previous, and the opening was a 20 naira 5 kobo, and then they had also 20.5. Tantalizer 2.33, 2.33, and 2.51, while Legal Insurance also came up with 1.01, and the same way all through. Looking at the percentage, the first was at 0, the other one was improvement at 0.2, while the other went down at 0.4. That is the change, and the 0.072. Yes, and we also continue to look at others that were there too. These Sonuas, Sonu Assurance also was among those people that backed down. We have Access Corp, DACO, and Regal Insurance again. We just want to let it be at this for now, because we'll still have to also round off the program and talk about other things. And now we also have there the one that has to do with the exchange rate, from the naira to the dollar, and the pound sterling. Yes, and the currency exchange. Naira to the dollar is at 1,450 naira 43 kobo, while to the Great British pound, it's 1,935 naira 6 kobo per pound, while for the euro, it's 1,689 naira 70 kobo per euro. That's the way it is. I mean, we're taking the first three, and then running it today. They're just the dollar, the pound, and the euro. Well, that's it for now. We'll still do more as time goes on. And one thing we want to tell you is that we'll also move beyond this very soon, talking about the market, exchange market world over, apart from what we have in Nigeria. Oh, well, we just want to conclude today on this note, and I want to say thank you to Adeolu Adeyemo for being here. But before we take our leave, what is your word of advice for this viewer that has watched and has made up his or her mind to make things better, to acquire this skill and to do so. You know, there are so many parts of in this industry. I will not talk about the movie industry. You talk about getting to have someone that's a cameraman, someone that's a lighting man, someone that is a lot, the gaffer, and so on and so forth. What advice do you give someone that is still watching, that has not gone to do any, or that knows someone that needs to do something but is not doing something?
Okay, so we know that MSME that
Yes.
we call skilled
Yes.
today
Yes.
is a major industry in the Nigeria economy. The last report by PricewaterhouseCoopers was saying that there are 47 million Nigerians. I would like that number to increase,
Yes.
and they contributed 54% to the GDP of this country. So if we have, can you imagine, if we have 54% as at how many years ago, it means if we have more people venture into it,
Yes.
we are going to have more. So if they are contributing 54% to the GDP of this country, then it means they are the life of an economy. You understand what I'm saying? So my advice is that number. I'm indulging. I'm calling on youth out there, graduates out there that are yet to get any job. Create a job, so that you can be part of these people that are contributing to the GDP of this country. Create a job, have a good living for yourself, have a good life for yourself, and then whoever believe that to be a tailor, you will be able to build a big mansion.
Exactly.
Today, I have seen quite a number. The ones that are closed and the ones that are not closed, doing so well as a tailor.
Yes, there's this young man that had that kind of
Vodi.
thing. Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
The
So
father encouraged him.
several. So it's easy. I go to school, but don't
forget your skills.
forget your skill.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is the only way for you to be great in this country.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been wonderful sharing the moments with you. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming in even at a very short notice today. Thanks a million times again.
Yeah.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Well, dear viewer, this is also where we'll be rounding off our program for today. I want to thank you for being part of it, and to say that we appreciate all that you do by sitting, watching, taking note, and being part of what we're doing here. Let me not forget that I've had Joseph Ochediku working with me this day, and of course with the entire team there. I must say that it is a full team that is there. I also wouldn't forget to say that Ephraim was here with us too, and to put us in order to do the work we've done. Ephraim Omona. I want to thank you all for being there. Ihanyi, I wouldn't forget that. Ihanyi Goji, Tabelaya, that will soon come over to start the next program. Thank you all. And I want to also thank Victor Chizea. Thank you so much, Victor. Thank you for being there. Thank you also to Victor Adeye, and not forgetting Felix Sakijabola. Ruben Okala, I thank you to head of station and the executive and the supervising producer of this program, which I produce, and saying that someone with us that has been will soon be rounding off. That's talking about my assistant, Esther Abraham. Well, we pray that the best will happen to us all the time. Okay, so Bogo here. We will meet sometime again.